Isn't it time for illegal ham in the face? But bro, where's the banjo?
Some Cleveland sports shows try to give you hot takes, but only one can give you a big old piece of hot ham. Welcome to Illegal Ham to the Face. Talking all Cleveland sports. And don't forget our Fat Boy Tuesday, where we also ham it up with some fun food topics. Without further ado, let's serve up some ham. Here are the Ham Boys, Fatty, and Big Bry.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome on into another episode of Legal Ham to the Face. We are brought to you by Network 216, also Harold Keel and Lake Erie APA, and City Dogs Cleveland. Welcome on into the show. We're going to be talking some guards, some Browns, some cheesesteaks, and then, Bri, finally our top three is going to be, if your dog could talk, what would you ask your dog? All right. Little fun one there at the end. So,
I like that.
How you doing, big fella?
Fantastic, my man. How you doing? Well, so I got to talk about the Browns and maybe a little bit about the Guardians from last night, but I'm still okay. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You want to talk about Michigan too, or you want to leave that one just tabled up?
No, not particularly. Not particularly surprising from my vantage point, but
okay.
Still celebrating last year.
Okay, I get it. You just take that victory lap because
it's a slow victory lap. Let me tell you.
It's like a Jason Giambi walk off. That thing's going to take 35 minutes for him to get around all the bases.
Nice.
All right. James, thank you for joining in with us tonight. Justin is here. He has a Watson take that we will get into here in a little bit. Bri, do you have any shout outs this week or before we start ripping off Band-Aids?
I do. Had a celebration this past weekend for my birthday, so had some good people come out for that. My wife, first and foremost, shout her out. Wouldn't have been possible without her sending out the invites, making the call to the venue, and not a venue, it was a bar, but getting a side room and just setting everything up. So she was unbelievable. She even kind of had an unexpected responsibility at the end of the night, if you know what I mean, taking care of the birthday boy. Had a little too much fun. You know, when you were in college, what was the first rule you remember about drinking alcohol?
Well, don't mix.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, right. Yeah. Liquor before beer, you're in the clear. Beer before liquor, never been sicker. Well, a 40-year-old man kind of forgot about that. So,
how many shots did you take? How many shots?
We're not getting into that. But I had a good plan to start the night. So yeah, we'll leave it there. But yeah, so many good people came out, showed me love. Even the people that couldn't make it out showed me love. My brother surprisingly drove 7 hours from Chicago just to come to the party. And then he left like 7 o'clock the next morning to drive 7 hours back to Chicago. So my wife, my mom for putting it all together, him for making that effort to come out. Really, I was shocked. Told him I was speechless. I felt terrible that he drove all that way. But I was so excited that he could be there because, you know, it was a lot of family and a lot of people that he knew. So, so he had a good time as well. But yeah, just having him there was pretty special. So, yeah, that's my first shout out. My second shout out goes out to my sister-in-law, who's going to be running in the Chicago Marathon this weekend, and she's been training for it for what seems like, I don't know, a year, maybe over a year, but she's kind of built up doing 10Ks and half marathons and stuff like that. But she's never done a marathon, so she's going to be doing it. And I'm wearing my MMRF t-shirt, Multiple Myeloma Research Foundation, because she will be running and in support with other people for the MMRF, trying to raise money to find a cure. And it's in honor of my dad, and it means a whole heck of a lot to me. And she's been doing it. She's been putting in the work. She's a mother of 4. She's still finding time to run these crazy amounts of distance. And she's not really a runner by trade. I don't think she did cross country or track in high school or anything like that, but just the sheer determination just blows my mind. I mean, you and I can appreciate, after we run a fourth of a mile, we're like, are you kidding me? We have to like multiply this by 100 to get to a marathon and not stop. So, man, awesome for her. I'll report back on how she does. But huge shout out to her for for doing it, for living the dream, for following her goals, and also doing a good cause at the same time. I know Justin's a big runner, so maybe he can get some pointers or something.
And hope that she respects the distance, because it's definitely.
I don't know how you couldn't, man. I think the most I've ever run at one time on like a treadmill might have been 5 or 6 miles, like in my life. My brain can't fathom that distance, really, and the pain that she's about to go through. But got to respect it.
I got to shout out also. I could not make your birthday. It was my dad's birthday on Saturday. You tried to catch me in a pigeonhole. Tried to catch me in a pigeonhole there of thinking that it was a surprise. I'm like, hold on, she said it wasn't a surprise, right? And I'm like, man, he's trying to catch me. I also got to shout out my sister, my lovely sister, who made your birthday presents. They are here at the house.
Oh yeah.
So you have a shirt, a couple coasters, you have a couple cups coming to you.
Wow.
For your
awesome.
40th birthday, brother.
Thank you.
Due. So
thank you
for her. She had to go through 3 different shirts.
She had. How big does she think I am? She had to sew 3 shirts together.
No, we already got your size. I asked you what your size was. We got your size, but like the first shirt, you'll see like the other ones are with it. It was like the logo didn't come up that good, so it's like really, really faded. So she's
gotcha.
like, I can't do this for Brian. She goes, by the way, I had to order another shirt. I'm like, okay. She goes, I'll overnight you the box. I'm like, oh, okay.
It's not that important. She could have sent it standard mail.
Hey, her man works at UPS. Ship that overnight. It should have been same day delivery in 2 hours. So
he should have drove it up himself. Come on, Chris.
Hey, the way he's going, it definitely should have. And then my dad turned 73. Happy birthday to Dad. Got to talk to him.
Awesome.
He got to do some of his favorite things, which is play cards, eat pizza, and garlic bread. So if you know down south, there is a pizza place called Crino's. He got himself a pepperoni, sausage, bacon, and no onions, but he got some peppers on there for himself. And then he said that their garlic bread is to die for, and sometimes he'll just order that for. So he had a great birthday. Just chilling out with my aunt, some friends down there. So shout out to him, and a little surprise up here too. A little turd.
What card game? What's this game?
They play, so it's kind of like canasta, but we call it hand and foot. So it's kind of, you have a foot hand, you have a regular hand, and it's sort of like canasta. You try to match up a whole bunch of stuff. And then every now and then we really get evil and start playing Hazy and Euchre. And then that's when, Brian, you know my family, and you know how we play euchre. It gets evil, and
right
when your grandmother calls you an asshole a couple times at the dinner table, you done good. All right. So let's get into our show, Bri. Let's have some fun. We got our trivia now, Bri. I have not talked to Beth completely today, but from what I saw, he is still there. Bacardi is still at the kennel, the longest resident at City Dogs Cleveland. He needs to get out of there. I believe this weekend is $21 adoption weekends. We will, Brian, talked to you before the show. We will sponsor Bacardi for anybody who wants to get him out of the kennel. Sure. I did hear there was a lot of dogs adopted over this past weekend, so thank you for doing that.
Awesome.
anytime that you can volunteer, donate, or anything to help out City Dogs, please do it. They're near and dear to our heart. They've been a part of us pretty much for 4 years now, Bri, it feels like. We've known them since we first started this, and we can't thank them enough. We got in touch with them with Top Dog Tailgate, with one of his parties out in Berea. They're at the West J Lodge, where people were bringing their own cornhole bags and cheating during cornhole tournaments, but we'll leave that be. But yeah, so please, if you can, go adopt a dog from City Dogs Cleveland, especially this weekend. Also, they are doing their Embrace Challenge, which is a nonprofit between everybody here in Cleveland. So any donations you could do to help out City Dogs win the Embrace Challenge, I believe a lot of money goes to help out them for surgeries, for medicine, for food, for anything for the kennels that the kennel needs. Mostly it's the big ticket items. It's to help dogs get back on their feet. It's mostly surgeries, and it's also mostly medicine for some of these dogs. So please go donate and help them out. Embrace Community Challenge. It is on our page on Facebook. Also, go check them out at City Dogs CLE, or check out at Friends of City Dogs. Okay, great people, great thing. Right? It's trivia time, and I got to bounce something back at Phillips.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it.
So Phillips has been keeping some receipts on us, Bri, in the group text. We got a receipt of you saying that the Washington Commanders were a bunch of JVers. And if we do not...
I don't know if I went that far.
You called them a JV team. He said if Baker Mayfield could carve them up, we could carve them up. I heard.
Okay. That's what it was. Yep. Before, after game one.
Yep. And that was when we were talking to Juice. And then he comes back at me with me saying that Clase is unhittable and should win the Cy Young and is the best pitcher in the MLB. Now, both of us have a little egg on our face on that one. Clase gave up some runs. The Guardians are tied 1-1 in their series with Detroit. They're heading back up to Detroit on Wednesday, but they lost this last game 3-0. And because he gave me so much Clase, trying to find a word, passe. Well, no, he just gave me a whole bunch of shit for it. So I'm going to give him some back.
Right.
So, Bri, we are doing Emmanuel Clase trivia tonight. Bri, these 3 runs were the first runs he allowed since when?
Yep. Okay. Got it.
Okay. And Bri, on top of that, how many earned runs did he give up this entire year?
Okay. Good deal. Might have to do some math on that one, actually.
What, the entire year one?
Yeah, just guesstimating.
Bri, I'll give you a hint. It's on all your fingers and toes.
Oh, good. Less than 10. Okay. I was trying to think. He's .62 ERA. Pitched in how many saves? 40. He has 47 saves. So maybe he's blown a couple. So 50, we'll say. Yeah, that about checks out. All right. Yep. I'll get something.
All right. Here we go. Now it's time to bump the Cleveland headlines. I hope Chris is in here. Now, Justin, I cannot put that up, but that is very funny, and I will tell Bri after the show. So I'm going to start that one right there and save that one for after the show because it was really good, Bri. All right, Bri, so your Cleveland headlines right now. We didn't know who Cleveland was going to face. It was either going to be the Astros or Detroit Tigers, and we got the Tigers. And the very first game, Bri couldn't have planned it out any better. They went up 5-0 at the end of the first, and it was pretty much game over. Won the first game 7-0. And then in the second game, we had one of the Cy Young front runners in Scooble pitching, and he did not disappoint. He pitched to Jim. One hell of a great game, and we have one pitch that did not go down in the dirt, and it got taken out to right field, and that's the ball game. They lost 3-0, but they will be back up in Detroit on Wednesday. I believe Wednesday. Who's pitching Wednesday? Boyd Cobb. Cobb will probably be with you Wednesday with Gavin.
First time pitching since September 1st, maybe September 3rd, over a month. So he's been resting.
Yes, he's been resting. So we got that going on for us. Bullpen's still been stellar, Bri. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. We just need the bats to waken up. But when you're going against one of the pitchers, and then did you see the catch that Stephen Kwan made out in left field, the diving catch? That, Bri, that is one of the best catches. Like everybody said, it hit the ground first. If you look really closely, the thumb of that glove was right underneath of it. And just amazing. And to have him back in the lineup right now is helping them out tremendously. He's been hitting the ball. I mean, he got a home run, or was it a home run? No. He ended up getting a single, and then a double brought him in on the first game. So it's been a very, very fun couple games here in Cleveland. Now we go to Detroit for 2 games, and then hopefully we get back here in Cleveland. But, Bri, for the first time in a while, I am very not concerned about this. Like, I understand you lost 3-0, but it's the best pitcher in MLB right now, one of the best. I still say Class A is, but one of the best in MLB right now. And you took his stuff, and now you're going to go to Detroit, and we knew this would probably be a tough matchup, but we didn't know how tough it was going to be, especially with the layoff. We just need to get the bats going. I mean, what did you think about these first 2 games, bud?
Well, unfortunately, for me, I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum to where you say you're not concerned. I'm very concerned because the way I see it, you have to win 2 games on the road. Scooble's unhittable at this point. I mean, not unhittable. We got hits off him. We got 3 hits off him. But we had a gem. We had an absolute gem with what Boyd did and what the bullpen did. And, you know, we were tied at 0. And so, I mean, like, can we produce that again in a game 5? If it gets to a game 5? Because I don't have – I mean, Scooble's just – yeah, you'll say he's one of the best. I'll say he's the best pitcher in baseball right now because what he did to the Astros, what he did to us, I don't know how, I don't know why. He seems to throw a ton of fastballs. Just based on I didn't know much about the guy before yesterday.
His changeup is ruthless though. That change,
but he's throwing like fastball after fastball after fastball, and I'm like, what makes his fastball so great? I would need to talk to somebody who really understands baseball because it seems like, you know, if I'm a hitter, I'm just sitting on his fastball. Yeah, if I look stupid swinging at a changeup, then that's one thing. But he seems to be throwing a healthy amount of fastballs at this point. But yeah, I mean, I know. So this is the second time we faced them. To give Guardians fans a little bit of confidence, the first time we faced them, we didn't score much, but we got like 10 hits, I think, is what I heard. So we have had success against him, but I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten better since then. I don't know if the moment was, you know, getting to the Guardians lineup a little bit, but I would be nervous if we come back 2-2 and we're staring a game 5 in the face, even being at home, knowing that you can't really make any mistakes defensively. Your pitching has to be on point, you know, because it feels like if they get a 2-0 lead against you, the game might be over. So, yeah, but we can still, at the same time, you know, I say all that to say that the Tigers have produced all their runs in the entire series, which is 2 games, in 1 swing of the bat. Other than that, they've got nothing. So, but after watching, and yesterday I watched the entire game. Saturday, I kind of saw the first inning, and I was like, all right, we're good. And I went out and did some yard work, and I kept checking back in, and we're 5-0, we're 7-0. I'm like, okay, if it got close, maybe I'd sit down and watch an inning or two. But as long as we had the lead, I felt good about it. But yesterday I watched the whole thing, and I mean, watching that game, the Tigers deserved to win it because they had a few opportunities to score, and we not luckily, because I don't want to take anything away from our pitchers or our defense, but we got out of those situations, and I feel like the Guardians really only had that one opportunity where they had first and third with one out, and then we can talk about whether it might have been a good idea to send Quan. I don't know the semantics of baseball as some diehards might know, but send him. Maybe they don't even throw it down to second because then the runner at third might steal home. So that seems to me that would make some sense to do that to avoid the double play.
Who was at bat when Quan was at first?
Fry hit into the double play. I don't know who was on third. Was Rocchio on third?
Probably. So
I think Rocchio was on third, so he had some speed there.
Yeah, because Fry's a right-handed bat too. So I would have sent Quan. I really would have.
I mean, hindsight being 2020. It's such a close game. You don't want to get thrown out on the base paths. And listening today to people all the time, like, oh, they probably should have taken Clase out there. He didn't have his stuff. They should have gotten, like, are you serious? Yeah.
And
right now, it's easy to say that because we know the results of what happened. But give me a freaking break. Are you kidding me? Like, we're going to send in whoever else because we had our two best bullpen guys would have been out of the game at that point. So you roll with the punches. The kid made a nice swing. You give him credit, but whatever.
Andre Knott talked to Clase after the game, and he even said he asked him about that pitch. He said, "Where was that pitch supposed to be?" He said that pitch was supposed to be in the dirt, and he left it up. And just you left it hanging. It happens. I mean, especially with those guys throwing, 100 miles an hour. I'm just like, I remember batting as a kid, and you had a kid that could throw hard, but he couldn't control it. And you would get peppered up as a kid, shoulder, back. These guys are throwing 104 miles an hour, and it's in the strike zone most of the time. And it's just, like, I don't know how I would handle it because that would just freak me out more than anything else. It's like, okay, that was a pitch. You blink, you miss it. But I think with this team, though, Bri, this team's so resilient. And I'm going to throw out another stat that I heard because I've been so enthralled with the way this team has played. Bri, 82 games this year they have led after the 8th inning. They've won all 82. All you got to do is get that lead. You get that lead, you get it into the 8th inning, it's game over. That's another thing about Clase that I love. Clase came in at a 0-0 tie. He came in the bottom of the 8th, faced a batter, and then went in the 9th. That's going to happen this series. It really is. And for people saying, well, he should have just pitched the 9th, no, he shouldn't have. That's your best pitcher. That is your best bullpen guy. How many times did Andrew Miller come in and pitch like 4 innings and he'd come in like the 5th inning and pitch all the way to the 9th? Like, how many times do we see that? Your best pitcher is going to go out there and pitch. Okay. Just let him go. And yes, he's human. He's human. He got hit. Heaven forbid he get. Mariano Rivera got hit too sometimes. It happens. It happens. But it doesn't happen often, Bri. And let him get it out of his system now, and let's go to Detroit. If we take the first game in Detroit, Bri, I'd be more at ease than I am now. The pressure's back on us.
Sure.
Pressure's back on us. They stole one from us. Home field advantage is to them now. So we need to steal one back from them. But the great thing is this team all year has never quit, Bri. They never quit. They keep going. I'm watching so many games of them coming back to win. This team is a different team, and it's a special team. This feels more special than 2016 and 2017. Like, this is a very, very special Cleveland Guardians team, and I am glad that everybody has shown up. Probably over 2 million people go out to watch that game. over 2 million this entire season. Stadium was packed, rocking. People were loud, obnoxious, having a blast. That's what Cleveland baseball is about, right? Progressive was rocking. We used to say rock the Jake. Hey, rock the Prague. Everybody had a great time. Everybody turned out. From what I heard, it was great games for both games. You can just sit back and just enjoy October baseball. And Brian, it's still the first game was like 78 degrees outside when they played it. Like it's still summertime for some of these guys. So enjoy it. Enjoy October baseball. We got 2 more games. We got Wednesday, we got Friday, and then we'll talk to you Tuesday and see what happens.
Thursday.
It's Wednesday, Thursday?
I looked today. Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday would be game 5.
Well, guess what, guys? Stay tuned to at Ham Illegal on Twitter and our Facebook page, and we'll be giving you some updates. I'll do a little couple live pop-ins. All right. So, man, that sucks. I didn't know it was a back-to-back. Well, that kind of works too. That'll be all right.
And I think Saturday would be like a 4:30 start. I didn't see what time. Do you know time for tomorrow at all?
Not off the head. I'll look at it.
No, I think there's only 2 games, so I would guess we're probably 4 or 5, and then the Yankees are later.
Oh, yeah, because the Yankees are going to be in the prime time slot because
of course.
Freaking Yankees.
Every series is tied at 1. So good for baseball.
All right, so tomorrow at 3:08 p.m.
3 o'clock. Oh,
little day drinking, Bri. Little day drinking. Thursday. Oh, Thursday night game though.
Thursday night, good.
Thursday
works out for me well.
So
nice.
Thursday night game. So Justin said today is the opening day for the NHL. Yes, it is. Go Blue Jackets.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, hey, Bri.
What a long season.
Cavs basketball is getting ready to start soon too.
Preseason. I think first preseason games tonight.
Yeah.
I heard the Cavs. So Cavs are training down in Florida at a high school. I mean, it goes to show you what kind of facilities they have at that high school. And they're flying up to Cleveland to play a game, and then they're flying back down to Florida to continue training camp or whatever.
Well, that is if Florida's still there after hurricane. Prayers out
yeah,
there.
Right. I don't know where IMG is. Yeah, tomorrow's supposed to hit hard. I was just watching that.
All right, Bri, we've been waiting. I don't want to talk about this game, Bri. Do we have to? Can we just go into Fat Boy Tuesday and just not talk about the Browns? Because, Bri, it's if anything could be a complete shit show, that's what Sunday was. Bri, I texted. I even tried to call you. Just talk me off the edge a little bit.
I didn't want to talk. I didn't want when the Browns are terrible like that. I do not want to talk about the Browns right then.
I just wanted to ask you a question, and I did ask you a question like, how are we going to fix this? I don't even know if there is any fixing this right now. We lost the Commanders very badly. We looked inept offensively. Defensive-wise, we got burned on a couple plays again. Only shining bright spot is Bojorquez can kick the ball 108 yards in the air and stick it down to 2-yard line. Even though he had one bad kick. Bri, it is coaching, it is players, it is everything right now. And I did put out a poll on our Network 216 page and said, who is to blame for right now for this 1-5 loss? Is it coaching? Is it the quarterback? Is it ownership or other? Bri, right now, it was kind of split between coaching and quarterback, and then a sprinkle of the front office in there on this. Bri, who do you think is to blame for this start?
I don't know. I don't know if I can pin it on one person.
I like it. Hey, you might as well
because nobody. I mean, tell me if you can tell me who's looked good this year, like consistently. You mentioned Bojorquez. Okay, I'm with you there. Other than Bojorquez, who's looked good? Like JOK has had flashes where
he's missed a couple of tackles.
He took a bad angle and Jaden Daniels got right around him and big play there. But yeah, he's not going to be perfect or anything like that. So JOK comes to mind. But And Denzel Ward, I've shouted him out a couple times, but he's also been injured. He didn't play a ton this past game. So yeah, I don't know. I can't tell you like who's looked good. You can talk about the negative, who's to blame. I can also flip it to okay, let's. I don't know. I can't tell you who's to blame because I can't tell you who's looked good and who's not to blame.
You know who looks good right now? Who looks good? Jameis Winston standing on the sidelines. He looks good right now.
The guy that doesn't do anything. Yeah, I mean,
that's where we're at right now because
most popular guy in every NFL city that is struggling, and which is usually Cleveland, the backup quarterback. Yeah, backup has to be better than this guy. Backup, yeah, throw the backup in, play the backup. He'll fix everything because we saw Joe Flacco do it last year. So. Yeah, you don't catch lightning in a bottle twice, I don't think.
Right. Now, I got to ask, like, we talk about the quarterback all the time. Is it making it worse that Flacco goes out and throws for almost 400 yards and Baker Mayfield goes out and has the game that he had, and we're just sitting here with this dumpster fire? Because that, for me, that makes it 10 times worse because those are two guys you had here, and they're on different teams lighting it up, but we're not lighting it up. There is a disconnect right now on our offense, and I don't know if it can be fixed. And everybody keeps telling me like it's the offensive line. Well, your offensive line shot. Okay, well, I see other people with offensive line problems. They're still working through it. They're still playing good. Why? What's wrong with us? I see other things happening. I mean, look at the Giants. We thought the Giants were going to be hot garbage. And they get Malik Neighbors, and they're 3-2 right now. The Washington Commanders. Now, granted, I know you said it out of jest. They were a JV team. They're 4-1 right now, Bri.
That's before I knew what Jaden Daniels was.
Well, no, but I understand.
To be fair.
But you can see what's going on here because you can see Washington Commanders have most of their guys coming back. The only thing they really added, we mean no.
I saw a stat on the broadcast. They have 17 new starters. So 17 of 22 are new.
Okay.
So, which I didn't know either until I watched the broadcast.
Well, I saw Scary Terry there, and I saw a couple of their defensive linemen that have always been
right, and that's about it.
Okay. Well, okay.
So because they had a new coach coming in, they had Dan Quinn coming in, and they had a new offensive coordinator, so they're going to naturally bring guys that they like in. So yeah, I mean, Jane Daniels has been a huge part of it, but they've also had a lot of other guys come in. So yeah, I didn't know that either, but yeah, I mean, it's just back to the drawing board. That's why I feel like this offensive line looks bad. Quarterback looks bad. Wide receivers look bad. Tight ends look bad. Like, if I tell you all that, it's got to be the offense. Running backs look bad. Running backs look terrible.
Well, no, they don't even look bad because they don't even get the ball, Brian.
Well, when they do, I mean, there's nowhere for them to go. So, I mean, it's hard to blame the running backs when you're running into a pile of guys and there's just nowhere for you to go. Now, would Nick Chubb maybe make one cut or switch field or something? I don't know. Until we see that, I don't know. So it's either the offense or the offense. I mean, we have zero running game, and there's times in this game we didn't even try to run the ball. It was just pass. And when the defense knows you're going to try to pass all the time, unless you're Patrick Mahomes or an elite quarterback, Joe Burrow, they're going to eventually figure you out. And then it just every third down, all you have to do. Let me tell the Eagles a little secret. I'm sure they knew a month ago.
Blitz.
Third down, blitz, and you're going to get a sack. That's all you have to do. Very simple. Bring more guys, more pressure, and we don't stand a chance. So I don't know. I'm sure a lot of it's the quarterback. I'm sure a lot of it's the offensive line. I'm sure most of it is just the plays, the play call. Yeah. I mean, Deshaun Watson has zero confidence. You can see it. I feel like he still will show you times he has the arm talent. He'll show a great throw like he had to Jerry Jeudy in the end zone that he dropped. Beautiful throw. But he just, when he gets a chance to throw it, but he just has no confidence. He's looking to run out of the pocket because he thinks he's going to get lit up, and then when he does get out of the pocket, he might rush stuff. So, like, I blame him. I blame everybody. There's just when your offense is this bad, it can't just be one guy. And Watson's the lightning rod. He's been a lightning rod since the beginning of the season. So people can't wait to call in on Monday and Sunday night and say, Jameis Winston, put Jameis Winston in. We got to play Jameis. We got to. And there's a part of me that's like, well, would Jameis be better in this offense? I don't know. I can't say for sure he would. At this point, I can't imagine our offense would look a whole lot worse because this game last week was just terrible in every phase. You can't pull any positives from it.
Now, Stefanski had an out this game. Okay. He had an out in the third quarter after the whole debacle down to goal line, everything else, Deshaun getting killed. He had an out this game to go, all right, Deshaun, it's just not our day. Go sit down. I'm going to put Jameis in. You've gotten your ass kicked. It's not looking good. We just need to change something. Okay. He had an out this game to do this. Okay. Didn't happen. Now, Bri, I told you.
It did happen. He just waited till very late. Now,
yeah.
I mean, we know it wasn't going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to think of the mindset. If you put Jameis Winston in the middle of the third quarter and waving the towel, like has no team ever come back from 21 points down? I'm pretty sure I went to a game in Tennessee where Brian Hoyer led us back from being down 25 or 26.
No,
so,
Brian,
like, you can't just wave the white flag in the middle of the third quarter.
I hear what you're saying, but is this also the team that got the penalty that drove him back to 4th and goal? Another sack.
Yeah.
Hold on. The same team that also had 12 men on the field when they were getting ready to go for it on 4th and 12 or whatever the hell it was to try to get back in this game. 12 men on the field, and then you have Deshaun walking off the field.
It was 4th and 2.
It wasn't 4th and 2?
Yeah, it was 4th and 2, and then it went to 4th and 7.
Yeah. So
it wasn't 4th and 7.
It was 4th and 7, and Deshaun walked right off the field because they had 12 men on the field.
Right.
And they didn't have it's just, yeah, and that's Justin. He did walk off the field. There was 12 men on the field. They counted them, and Mari counted them. And then Kevin realized there's 12 men on the field, and they weren't going to be able to burn a timeout at that point in time because why would you waste your second timeout in 30 seconds? Like
they could have. So they had a decision to make. If you break the huddle at all, you're getting a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah.
So by him walking over to the sidelines, he's like, hey, listen, what do you want to do? Do you want to take this 5-yard penalty or do you want to burn another timeout? And Stefanski's like, I don't want to burn another timeout. I wasn't even feeling great about going for it. I think you're right. I think it was like 4th and 7 or something. So let's just kick the field goal. We'll take the penalty and kick the field goal. So, I mean, in hindsight, maybe you should have fought a little harder for that because the game was hanging in the balance. Because after we didn't get a touchdown there, I feel like our team was done. They didn't want to be there. You could see it in their eyes. They're like, let's quit. Can we, like Little League, like youth football, youth baseball? Hey, you know what, guys? Yeah, you win. We'll just hand you the game. We don't need to play anymore. And that's exactly what it looked like from everybody on the Browns side.
Yeah, so Justin, everybody's been kind of saying, well, he just walked off the field. He quit. He walked off the field. Yeah, and Justin didn't get the game down there, so he didn't know. So, but yeah, there was 12 men on the field. That's why he walked off because at that point in time, like you said, Bri, it just
you're getting a penalty.
You're getting yeah.
If you break the huddle, which they didn't break the huddle, so they got a delay game or something penalty, I guess. So
yeah,
same thing.
And Bri, there is when you have a bad team, all the stories start to come out, rumblings of everywhere, everything else. Bri, for the past 2 days, I have heard beat reporters and national reporters for the Cleveland Browns say, well, if you want to bench Deshaun Watson, it is not Stefanski's call. And Bri, the last time this happened was Baker Mayfield. And they're on record saying that Stefanski could not bench Baker Mayfield to get him out of the road because the front office and the owners needed to see Baker Mayfield that season to see if they're going to give him an extension. Right? That is on record. Jason Lloyd wrote about it. A whole bunch of other writers wrote about it. Guess what? Same shit's going on right now with Deshaun Watson. And if that's the case, I don't know how you can blame Stefanski. If your hands are tied and you can't do anything with this team and you can't make the moves that you need to make this team better, if you can, then, Bri, there is a huge problem right now with the Cleveland Browns, and it will not go away if they keep this up.
Yeah. But for the record, for me, I agree with the decision. I agree with the decision to play Baker. If he could play, I mean, we saw he wasn't 100%, but maybe he was 80%. It's not like he was 40% and they're throwing him out there. We had to figure out if we're going to pay Baker all this money. So I agree with that decision. And then I agree with this decision because you have to find out what you can't just give up on. I mean, whether people like it or not, we devoted years, at least 4 of a 5-year contract. We devoted 4 years to Deshaun Watson. Unless we have here's the only way I could understand them replacing Deshaun Watson. And that is if you think that Dorian Thompson-Robinson is just tearing it up in camp and you want to see what he has. And Jameis Winston would be nice, a nice story. Jameis Winston's never going to be a real franchise quarterback, unless he gets touched by the hand of God and he turns into Sam Darnold or something like that, and he's 5-0 all of a sudden. But if Dorian Thompson-Robinson is showing promise and you think, hey, this guy could turn into a Brock Purdy or something like that, like if you're eager to see him and we have a quarterback in the room that could potentially supplant Deshaun as our franchise quarterback, then I understand going to that. But I haven't heard anything at all of that. So if you're looking to replace Deshaun Watson, you're doing it just because you hate Deshaun Watson. And that's what all the fans are doing. I mean, there's fans that wanted to replace him after game 1. But they have made this giant investment into him, and they want to see. I know it's been a bumpy road through 5 games. Is there a chance he turns it around? Some people say absolutely not. There's no chance in hell. He's never, and that's your personal feelings getting in the way. What we talked about this time last week. Okay, Deshaun, we can understand Deshaun's getting a little better. We see these small steps. I know we want giant steps forward, but we see these small steps. And this week was a giant setback. For whatever reason, I don't know the reason why he played so terrible, but it happens when you're an NFL quarterback. But yeah, they've made this investment. Like if you bought a car and you paid a ton of money for it and you were really excited about it and it started having problems, after a couple weeks, after a month, after 3 months or something, and your friends are saying, dude, just take it to the scrapyard, get rid of it. And you'll be like, no, I invested a ton of money and I was really excited about this. I want to make sure that this car can provide me what I hoped for. And I mean, up to this point, he hasn't done it, but I don't see a better option right now. I mean, we hope Jameis Winston could be a better option. But a lot of it goes back to people still being ticked off that we let Joe Flacco go, and they think, this time last year, Joe Flacco was sitting on his couch and nobody wanted him. When Baker Mayfield was a Cleveland Brown, the best thing we could get for him was a 6th-round pick. People forget that. These guys were not what they are right now when they were in Cleveland.
I get that, but hey, in Cleveland, we never let anybody mature, ever.
I would agree with that. Because
the reason why, just think about it. We had Brian Hoyer here, who was 7-4. We had to start Johnny. We had a winning quarterback. Had to start Johnny. Get Johnny in there. Every quarterback that we've had with the Cleveland Browns gets maybe 3 years, and then that's it. It's even 3 years.
You saying that just strengthened my argument.
Well, I don't know.
We don't give him enough. We don't give him enough time. And now you're saying we've got to get rid of him, and I'm saying give him more time.
Brian, I didn't say get rid of him. Okay.
No, I know, but where are you at? So let me ask you. I'm married to him for the whole year. Whether we win 2 games, whether we win 7 games, I don't, we got to figure out, and then we'll deal with this mess in the offseason.
Okay,
but we have to get an answer on Deshaun Watson's where I'm at, and I don't think 5 games is big enough sample size.
And here we go. I told you I wanted the whole season from Deshaun to see what he's got. All right, so we are game 5 right now. Right, it has not looked good. We've had 1 okay game and 4. Well, 1 okay, 1 shit show, and then 3. All right. We got 4 tough games coming up. We got the Eagles, we got the Bengals, we got the Ravens, and then we got the Chargers, and then we go on bye. Bry, I give him those 4 games, and if he still looks inept as he has been these first 5, at that point in time, Bry, in my book, the experiment is over. There is no righting this ship because, Bry, quarterbacks make your players better. They try to. They're supposed to be leaders of the team. He has a seat on his chest, Bry. All right? And I do not see this team responding to him. I do not see this team playing for him. It is, Bry, it's bad. Like, it's not even like a little bit bad. This is like when we went back with, oh my God, who was the quarterback from Notre Dame that we had?
Kaiser.
Deshaun, or no, it wasn't Deshaun Kaiser.
Yeah,
was it
Deshaun Kaiser. Yep.
Deshaun Kaiser. And we're sitting there going like, can it really be this bad? Like, I understand national media, and they are just, man, oh man, are they piling on Orlovsky, Steven?
Oh,
they're just
love
loving
it
every minute.
They cannot wait. Like the Browns, the Browns are basically right now. The Browns are an irrelevant team.
Oh yeah.
The only reason that the national media talks about them is to pile on them. They don't talk about the Panthers or the Raiders or the Patriots like at all because they're just bad teams.
Hold on.
And the Browns are a bad team. They love piling on.
Well, the reason why though is that the other teams that you named weren't expected to be any good this year. We were expected. You and I predicted 10, 11 wins.
But they're not piling on the Bengals.
Yeah, well, their quarterback is still throwing for 300, 400 yards.
Right, but their defense is terrible. I mean, you have a good offense, you have a good defense. They're still saying, oh, the Bengals will be fine, and people are still predicting them to get into the playoffs.
All right, so Bry's talking about Watson like a girl trying to talk her dad into liking the guy she's dating.
I understand the commitment that we made to Deshaun Watson, and I don't think many other people do. I mean, when you give a guy a guaranteed contract and he's now $68 million against your cap, like you're stuck. You're stuck, and unless you draft a Brock Purdy, and he can come in and he can fix all your problems, and you don't have to pay him a whole lot of money. Then, but right now, if you think Dorian Thompson-Robinson's that, then you're wishing on a hope and a prayer.
Yeah, it's not good, bro. It's not good. I mean, do you have any feeling? So you're okay with Hasler or Stefanski being handcuffed right now and not being able to bench Deshaun if he needs to?
I think it doesn't matter. I mean, I think you might as well just, deal with this in the offseason. If Deshaun plays like he did against Washington, then your season's over. You don't stand a chance anyways. People still think about that we have a backup quarterback that can come in and save our franchise because it happened last year. And I'm just telling you, that's not the case. He might look a little bit better, but if he has no running game, and in this, I think my issue, and I'm not saying Deshaun is going to be great in a different offense or anything like that, or the offense is the only thing holding him back. He has not played well enough. He has zero confidence, and just he's playing like a crap quarterback. But I look at this offense and I say, what is working on this offense? And nobody can tell me that anything is working in this offense. So, maybe it's time to break it all down and go back to square one and have 3 tight ends and try to run the ball and then work off play action. We talked about these similar things when Baker was here.
But, Bud,
Play action, roll
Watson
him
doesn't
out.
want to do that. He does
What do you
not
mean?
want to do
Oh,
that.
so he told you that?
He's told the
You heard
coaching
him say
staff
that?
that. That's why they got rid
he
of
had.
him.
I've never heard him say that.
Really?
So you think Deshaun Watson stormed in there, said, "Hey, Brian Dable, can't work with him. Get him out of here."
Are you
Okay?
serious right now?
I think you're living in a fantasy world.
Okay.
I think you're like
so
you don't like you're in that locker room. Who'd you hear this stuff from? Like, where do you get this stuff from?
Okay, let's see here. Everybody that said Deshaun does better out of the shotgun. He does not want to have his back to the defense.
Everybody doesn't work for me. Tell me who said this?
Every beat writer that's been writing about it, because that's why they had to bring in Dorsey had to bring in Dorsey in here to revamp the offense because Deshaun didn't want to play with his back to the defense.
Everybody's assuming that. Everybody's connecting the dots.
Okay.
Nobody knows.
Hold on. Then why haven't they done it yet then, Bri?
Why haven't they done what?
Why haven't they done big tight ends and try to run the ball and have Deshaun do a play action rollout? They haven't.
Because they are stubborn and because they want to see this through. And I'm hoping that they got their answer this past week. Hey, we gave it 5 weeks. Nothing works in this. We need to change something up. But I don't have faith that they're going to change it up because, like I just said, they're stubborn. That's why Stefanski is clutching onto his play calling for the last 5 years, even though we've been begging, let somebody else call the plays. Let so-and-so call the plays. Like, it's a weekly question. Like, any chance that somebody else is going to call? No. So, yeah. So what they need to do, in my opinion, is go back to the basics. If people don't want to hear it because he's making 200, however many. Some people say 270, 280, 290. It goes up every time I hear somebody talk about how much money he makes. You treat him like a rookie quarterback. You treat him like, let's do whatever happens and just try to gain yards. First and second down. How many 3rd and 9s do we have? How many 3rd and 10s do we have? How many 3rd and 11? Like, you can't win doing all this. You have to get yards on 1st and 2nd down. And we just can't do it because we can't run the ball. So everyone knows we're going to throw the ball. And just watching some replays of some plays, the 4th down play against the Raiders, there were a couple plays that they really started breaking down and showing like slow replays. Like, I'm watching the middle of the field, and we have nobody in the middle of the field. These linebackers are dropping back 10 yards, and there's just this wide open space in the middle of the field, and we have nobody right there. Like, to me, I'm a moron when it comes to football stuff. These guys know a ton more than me, but I think, hey, how about we send a guy to the middle of the field, even if he just runs a 5-yard curl, let's throw it to him. We can get a couple yards, and then we're at 3rd and 3, and it's a little more manageable. And we have, that really opens up the playbook. But I don't know if it's the offense. I don't know if it's the coaches just making the wrong call. I don't know if it's probably a little bit of everything. And Deshaun, escaping the pocket too quickly. It's like I said, it's everybody. It's just a combination of everything, and it's frustrating as a fan. But I'm not just gonna be as simple-minded and say that guy, that one guy, get rid of him. We have to do like, I don't know. It's when we look as bad as we did on Sunday, it's 22 guys that aren't looking very good, and that's what happened. But like I said earlier on the show, he's a lightning rod, so everyone's just gonna, back their guys. Yeah, right. And his coach and quarterback,
and he is supposed to be our franchise guy. I mean, that's what we traded him to be, and he's not playing good enough, and the whole team isn't. My God, the whole team is not playing. We're still missing tackles. They said, hey, we're going to start making tackles now. Still missing tackles. You had Schwartz's defense just get carved up by a rookie quarterback. And not like a little bit carved up. Like, Bri, big play carved up. Like 40-yard touchdown passes, 60-yard touchdown passes, 35-yard quarterback scramble because they can't tackle. When the hell did they stop learning how to tackle?
He didn't even play. He didn't even play in the 4th quarter. They had 34 points by the end of the 3rd quarter.
Oh, my God.
So is that all Deshaun Watson's fault? Yeah. No, offense couldn't do anything, but and I actually thought the defense was playing well. to start the game in the first. They just gave up a couple of big plays, but sometimes that's all it takes. When you're a defense, yeah.
I got floodgates open. Ugh.
We're clearly I feel like defensive guys are almost in denial still. Like we're clearly the third best defense in our division, and we hope we're better than the Bengals. But I see the Ravens, and the Ravens had a tough week against Joe Burrow, and so I wouldn't say that they're at their top right now. But the Steelers, I look at the Broncos defense. I look at these, like there's defenses out there that give up 10, 13 points a game. Mm-hmm. And if our defense was that good, we would be in every single one of these games, and we'd probably win at least 3. We'd be 3-2 or now. Even with one of the worst offenses in the league, we'd still have a chance in every single one of these games. But our defense is playing middle of the road, and just getting torched. So if that continues, if our defense continues to look bad, our offense continues to be one of the worst in the league, the season's over. But I don't. So to give you some hope, and I know it's just wishing on a shooting star at this point that hopefully we can start doing something different. But if we can get to our bye weeks in week 10, if we can get to our bye in 4 and 5, I think it's still manageable. If you can get the bye 4 and 5, that means you have to win 3 of the next 4.
So we have to beat Baltimore, Cincinnati, Philadelphia, who is, and the Chargers.
No, you have to win three of those 4.
Yeah, you have to win 3 of those 4.
Not all 4. No, you don't have to win all 4.
I know, but you have to win 3 of those 4. And I'm saying they're all really good teams.
Right, but we have Cincinnati's number. We have Joe Burrow's number. I know the Eagles are getting healthy again and we'll get into, maybe we can transition now to the Eagles game, but they're getting AJ Brown back, Devontae Smith back. So they're getting healthier and they're coming off a bye and they're coming off a beatdown before they went on the bye. So they're going to be tough, but they've underachieved for the last year and a half or for the last year. So they're out. What's their record in the last 10 games they've played? They're probably like 2-8 or 3-7. So
3-7.
So their talent, we get mesmerized by their talent, and me included. I keep wondering, like, what the heck? I've brought it up here several times. What the heck's wrong with the Eagles? They should be so much better than what they are. And then Baltimore and the Chargers went to it. So I'm not throwing the towel in just yet. Like I said, if we're not 4 and 5 by the bye week, if we're 3 and 6, you probably throw it in at that point. But right now, I'll hold out hope. Just they need to take drastic measures right now. They can't just say, "Oh, let's try to execute a little bit better next time," because this past week was a huge eye opener. It was one of the worst Browns games I've seen in several years. Like I told you, it's just after they didn't get that touchdown at the beginning of the third quarter, they just wanted to pack their bags and they just wanted to go home. They did not want to be there at all. And me as a fan, I didn't want to. I watched it all, but I didn't want to watch it because I just knew that they're done.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to Philly. All right, so we got Philly coming up. They're coming off a bye, and I got to sneeze. And probably again. And maybe one more time. Third time's charm. Here we go. All right.
Yep.
So we got the Eagles coming in. Brian, what is it really just break it down and build it back up to get this win?
Yeah, you have to do whatever, throw everybody's ego in the garbage because Stefanski can't have an ego. Deshaun can't have an ego. Ken Dorsey can't have an ego. You have to do whatever you can. And I think offensively, if the defense sees the offense starting to move the ball and starting to have success, that'll give them some energy. And we still don't know about because everyone's so caught up on just ragging on the entire team because they've looked so bad. We don't know about some of these injuries. I don't know about Denzel Ward. Excuse me, what happened to him? Dave Njoku, I think, hurt his knee again, I heard today. I don't know what his status is. Jed Wills was out there finally playing. I don't know if he's plays one game, sits 2 games. Jack Conklin, we don't know.
Not like he did anything when he was out there. So I
right. So, yeah. But I mean, there needs to be drastic changes. If you want to save your season at all, you need to do something drastically different than what you've been doing, because it is shown through 5 weeks that it doesn't work. So I doubt the light switch is just going to go on and all of a sudden you're going to be putting up 28 points a game. So, yeah, do something different. I wish I had the answers for them. Like I said, I think you just need to go back to fundamentals, even if you're just trying to run the clock, and let your defense get out there and hopefully hold them. And, there's just so many wild things that happen in the NFL. Injuries happen. Jalen Hurts might get hurt in the first quarter, and then you play. Do you know who Philadelphia's backup is?
Now, all right. Now I need to know, who is it?
Look at the smile on my face.
Okay,
Kenny Pickett is their backup. So, yeah, right. So if anything happens to him, okay, we get some life.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson's running all over the field like a madman. He can get hurt at the top of the hat.
Hey, can we do Bounty Gate again?
Right? Yeah, I'm just telling you. I mean, look at the quarterbacks we played at the end of last season. Yeah, everyone's thinking, oh boy, you got to close with Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers. That's going to be a tough stretch. Actually, it was Trevor Siemian and whoever the hell the back, Jake Browning.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just gotta get healthy and give us a chance. But yeah, like I said, my goal is 4-5 by the bye week. If we're less than that, then okay, I'll say maybe it's time to pack it up. But until then, I'll keep the faith.
All right, I'm with you. They got to blow it up and figure out something that works.
Do something different. I don't toss
care
your egos aside.
I don't care if the one play gets you 5 yards and it gets you 5 yards every time you get 5 yards. Run that play every freaking time. You need some sort of just momentum going forward with this offense. You need something good to happen. And right now, Bri, every time that we get something good to happen, there is something that brings us back. Whether it be a penalty, whether it be a drop pass, whether it be anything. These are what I like to call the mental mistakes. I mean, like you said, that pass to Judy, should have caught it. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. That was a touchdown pass. Hands first, not body.
It's a different game if he catches that.
All you had to do is catch it. There's been other passes that have been dropped that you guys have to catch. Like, I don't understand what is going on, because it is like mental mistakes they're making that is making this more frustrating than anything else. And it's just, it just irks me. You get down to the point where you're getting ready to score a touchdown. A false start on right guard, number 72. We're going to back it up 5 yards. And then and there's a sack for another 6 yards. And then guess what? You're kicking a field goal instead of scoring a touchdown.
And something we haven't touched on yet is, and just watching the game, it's so annoying and frustrating. They are barely getting the plays off. I mean, they're snapping the ball at like 2 and 1 second, and he's like smacking his hands like. So like I don't, not being there, I don't know if is that Deshaun having no sense of urgency. Is that the coaches not getting the play in quick enough? Is that the guys subbing in not having any hitch of their giddy up together? Because
I don't.
It's annoying as hell watching this game. Like, just every time, like, snap the ball 3 seconds. We're playing from behind. We should be conserving the clock. We need to snap the ball with 22 seconds every time or something. And it's just tick, 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 down to 2, down to 1, go, and you're just screaming at your TV, and it's frustrating.
All right, Brian, let's do our scores for this game coming up. I believe I actually did pretty good on my score.
You did. You got your score. Yep. You said 20. Well, you said 27-18. So yeah. So you had them winning big. And I remember I said, well, on paper, we should lose 40-10.
You're
And
pretty damn close.
sometimes on paper that actually plays out in real life. F me for putting that out in the universe.
All right, so I'll go first this time, Brian. We are at Philly. Philly is coming off a bye. Brian, there is just something inside of me that this team is broken right now, and I don't think they're going to right the ship at all this year. I think this is going to be a shit year for us, Brian. And Brian, I picked the Eagles 31, Browns 17.
All right. That's a good pick. I'll say the defense plays a little better. I'll say Philly 25. And I'll say the Browns 16.
16.
I mean, after seeing the offense, I can't just say I can't trust that they're going to go to the laboratory and come up with a better game plan because I haven't seen it yet. So
I got you. All right, Bri. How are we doing in those standings, by the way, Bri?
I think you might have won ahead of me last week. Well, so what are the Browns? 1-3, 1-4, 1-4. So I'm 1-4, and I think you're 2-3.
All right, I'll take it.
So you're ahead of me, and I can't gain any ground this week. Maybe I should have taken the Browns.
That's all right. All right, Brian, we got to get into our legal hand to the face fantasy football before we get into Fat Boy Tuesday. We'll do a quick Fat Boy Tuesday, Brian, because as you and I get, when we start talking Browns and the debacle that it is, we get a little long-winded. So right now, your legal hand to the face fantasy football league update. You have Bow to My Baldness beating my Knicks in the box 137-113. All right, and here Justin says I'm putting it off. All right, you got Runner beating Team Big Meat 126-91. You have Phil McCracken beating Always Next Year 135-83. Big Bry gets off the schneid beating Team Big Rod 136-132. Portage County Prostitutes improved to 5-0, leading the illegal ham in the face fantasy football league, beating Dog Pound Craig Foster 108-104. And our last matchup, Honky Cat Lauren beat Harold Keel 142-120. And that is your legal ham in the face fantasy football update. And we are going to switch over to our, and I got to find it.
And now it's time for Fat Boy Tuesday.
And I had to click off of that. It is time for Fat Boy Tuesday. They are playing in Philly, Brian. I want to talk to you about some Philly cheesesteaks. Now, Brian, here in Cleveland, we're kind of known for a mixed mash of stuff. Most of the time, it's pierogies, kibasas. We got a little mix of everything. But over there, they're known for their cheesesteaks, Brian. Now, Brian, we have had some great places here. DeBella's out on the east side has got some great cheesesteaks. The original cheesesteak factory or a hoagie factory has got some great ones. Now, Brian, if you're going to go to Philly, all right, this is one of the big questions that they ask. Are you going to get the whiz? Or are you not going to get the whiz?
So the whiz being Cheese Whiz?
Cheese Whiz. You got to get the whiz.
I told you before the show, I will pile it as high as I can with as much cheese as they will offer me. So, yes, I will be getting the whiz.
Now, if you're going with your family, are you making it a staple that you have to go to one of these places and get and one of the good places, like one of the historic places?
I think there's two that everyone talks about. Like, are you this? Geno's might be one of them, and maybe Pat's and Geno's. Yeah, we got to talk to somebody who's been there. Not even. I told you before we started. I don't think I've ever even had a cheesesteak. I've had a Philly a chicken cheesesteak. I've never had like a true cheesesteak, but I have nothing against it. There's other options that I would choose. But yeah, in Philly, if I'm going to Philly, I'm definitely getting probably both of those to make my own decision.
Yeah, if I'm going to Philly, I'm going to get it how everybody in Philly gets it. because
Right.
like there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like I don't care if it is just it. This is why certain times that I wear certain shirts when we go out to eat because I know shit's going to drop on that shirt, right? And I know that it's not going to matter and it's okay, but I have to wear a messy shirt for a messy sandwich like that, and I'm 100% okay with that. Now, are you okay with peppers, onions, all that stuff?
Yeah, yeah, I'm like you. If I'm going there, give me the staple. Give me what everyone is judging your Philly's cheesesteak off of. I mean, and it's because I don't. I would probably, if I was ordering it myself and I had it, 15 times already, I would probably just order with onions, like peppers, but I don't love peppers.
All right.
But yeah, if I'm going one time and they say, hey, it comes with cheese and peppers and onions, and I don't know if they put mustard on it or anything like that, I'm like, all right, that's fine, cool. Yeah,
So
let me try the original.
hey, it's like cheese, everything else, and cheese. Like I don't think they put anything else on it. Maybe a little mayo on the bread. I'm not 100% sure, but every
Hmm.
time that I see them make it, it is like it's the whiz straight through the bun. Add in the stuff, add more cheese, and then here you go. Here's your cheesesteak.
Do they dip it in like a jus sauce?
No, that's the
That's
Chicago.
Chicago
That's the Chicago
Italian
Italian
beef.
beef sandwich,
That's right.
and
Okay,
that's when they
yeah,
dip it
you're
in
right.
jus sauce. And right, I've had one of those.
Oh
Actually,
yeah,
I have one.
Portillo's.
Hey, I had one of those at Gino's here in Cleveland when we did our live show at Gino's, and man, was that freaking fantastic!
Hmm.
So, just heads up, if you go to Gino's in Strongsville, hit it up with the Italian beef sandwich. It is freaking fantastic.
Right.
And Justin said, he goes, there is a marketing idea, sell illegal ham to the face, Tuesday, Fat Boy Tuesday bibs. There we go. All right, we're going to have to get a little
He's on to
picture.
something.
I know he is. I'm going to have to get it. Right? We're going to have to start making designs, buddy. All right, so let's get into our top three, and then we will close it out and be out of here, Bry. As soon as I scroll up and find a sounder for our top three. So our top three tonight is if your animal could talk, what questions would you ask your animal? Now, Bri, do you want me to go first with mine? Give you a little basis of what we're doing here?
No, let me go first because I feel like you got some good ones, and I don't want to take away from those, or I don't want to be influenced by your answers. So I'll be quick. First question I would ask her, and she's right over here. Oh, she's
I
sleeping
see
right
her
now. I don't know if you can see her.
underneath the
There she
blanket
is.
and everything.
Well, I got the fan going, so I covered her up. She's
Yeah.
short-haired dog, so she's a little chilly. So first thing I'd ask her, hey, what do you like to eat? What kind of dog food, more specifically, what kind of dog food
That's a
do you
great.
like? So, hey, we've fed her probably maybe 3 different brands, maybe 4. I know she my mother-in-law brings her dog up here, and I think she has pedigree or something like that. And whenever she leaves it on the floor, this one always goes over to the pedigree and will start eating that. But I think because she wants more variety, but she's had some intestinal issues in the past, so we're not trying to go down that road again. So yeah, number one, what do you like to eat? What's your favorite dog food? And maybe we'll mix in some people food, but I think she likes all people food. Number 2, what activities do you like? Which the answer is going to be a walk, which she might pop up there, but we just took one earlier, so she's probably pretty tired. What activities you like? What do you like to do? What do you want us to do with you? And then my number 3 is not really a question, even it's just more setting parameters. Like, hey, you see the cat over there? See the neighbor's cat? Do not go try to kill it. If you kill it, they're probably going to kill you. So, like, don't be killing any animal because she's a hunter by nature. We think she's a terrier. We think she has some pointer in her. So,
Oh,
she's
that's
looking
great.
for animal. If she sees a squirrel crawling across the the fence, she kind of gets down low in the hunting position, tries to sneak up on it. So I got to tell her, like, hey, you see any animals, you can play with them. You can even like hunt them and get them in your mouth or something, but don't kill them. And also
great.
like, hey, if this back gate is open, you don't run away. You stay in this yard. So yeah, setting the parameters, making sure she's safe and not running away from home.
Oh, Brian, that's freaking great.
It's as she would. I mean, she sees cats. Like, we went to walk today. My wife's like, "You better shorten that leash up. There's a cat under that truck over there." So she will go after it and she will, demolish it. So can't be doing that. We love cats here.
So Justin said, number 1, who is a good girl or boy? Number 2, you want a bone, and number 3, you want to go to the park. Okay.
I am yes and yes.
Okay. My top 3 are completely different. I have 2 dogs and 1 cat on here. And Brian, my first question to my beautiful beagle princess: why do you feel the need to try to lick your asshole? I don't know what it is. Your fascination by it. Why you're trying to get back here to get something? I need to know why you're trying to get back here, because this is getting ridiculous. You
Sounds like you're fascinated with it.
I am, because hey, she is a Beagle Basset mix, and her head doesn't get back here. And
no.
Oh yeah, she can't even come.
So did she run it on the ground then?
Oh yeah, she does rubbing it.
I'm guessing because it's itching. I can probably answer that for you. It's because it itches.
Probably is, but I want to know from her. Number 2, why do you feel the need to bark at any animal, dog, person, anybody that walks by our front bay window, knowing that if you go out and meet that person, you are going to fall over and ask them to rub your belly? All right. Just simple as that. I need you to stop barking at people, because we know that you're a softie. You're not a big girl. You're a little girl, and you're going to take it down. And finally, my last question, Bri, and it is to my cat, Trister. Trister, why do you got to be such a dickhead sometimes? And reason why I'm going to ask him that question, Bri, is because he'll sit there and stare at you and look at your cup and go, and just knock your cup over. Full of shit of water, whatever's in there, just knock it over and just stare at you the entire time he does it. And I just want to know why you got to be a dick. All right. Because you are dickish and you're a dick cat. So stop being a dick. And he's sleeping right now. I'm going to wake him up and make him. But those are my 3 questions.
Cats are dicks.
Cats are dicks. That's
just it. I think there's bumper stickers or YouTube shows or something called that. And it's just what they do.
Right. I'm telling you, this asshole of mine, 5 o'clock in the morning, starts scratching at the door because he wants fed. Just start scratching. He is like Garfield. You can feed him as much as you want to. This cat's never satisfied, Bri. Never satisfied. That shit.
You brought up Garfield. Now all I want is lasagna. I do have pasta waiting downstairs. So
all right. Let's close this out, Bri. Trivia I had for you tonight was Emmanuel Clase has given up 3 runs in the postseason. When was the last time he gave up a run? And also, how many earned runs did he have this entire baseball season?
So I think I heard the first one. I don't know if I really remember. What I guessed was August 30th.
That is the first
one. Right? August 30th. Okay.
Almost a month and a half without giving up a run.
Wow. Pretty darn good. And then I'm saying, you said it was less than 10 or maybe 10. I went with 8 runs.
Bri, this entire baseball season, Emmanuel Clase has given up 5 earned runs. Bri,
wow.
That is it. 5. 5 earned runs.
Maybe it's me. Hey, because I remember one of them I watched with my brother at JoJo's. I think it was in the 10th or something. It was a cheap one. It was sacrifice bunt, sacrifice fly, and then I was watching the game the other night, so it could be me. Sorry, Cleveland.
No, I mean 5 earned runs the entire year. 5 earned runs. That's it, Bri.
Wild stuff. And really good.
And that's why I say he should win the Cy Young. But, I'm being biased because I'm a Cleveland guy. So that's what it is.
All right. That's fine with that. You're allowed to be biased.
All right, so we're here at the end of the show. We want to thank our troops, first responders for everything you can do. Please go adopt Cardi. My God, get him out of that kennel. He does not belong there. Also, thanks to City Dogs. Go check them out for the Embrace Community Challenge. Also, I believe hard. We'll go with soft sell on this one. Maybe $21 adoptions this weekend. I'm not 100% sure. Want to thank Harold Keel for all the support that he gives us in Lake Erie APA. And Brian, we're here at the end of our show. God bless him, brother.
Yeah, God bless you. God bless America.
And I am that fat guy. We're definitely uncorked, unloaded. We're out. See you guys next Tuesday.